Hello, we're report again, and I've a great day for some football because yesterday we actually did another video, and that was the Super League video. Please make sure to see that video.
Yes, we've been talking yesterday in unexpected development about the unexpected development that is the Super League.
The Super League, but not the Indian Super League. Please don't say that.
Yes, no, not the Indian Super League or any other Super League of any description. Please do not fiddle with those. This is my perennial question. Please don't do that, okay? So we don't have as long a program today because we did a long one yesterday. Well, we did one yesterday anyway, which took a lot out of all of us. But we're going to plough through as usual and see what we can see of the week gone and the week ahead. So let's have the week gone. So you can see the Bolivian results there. I'm not going to worry about calling them all out. The main thing is to note that Atlético Nacional, who were top, but only on goal difference, went super top, if you like. They won it out. And now they go into playoffs. The 7-1 win is always going to help. Second and third, I think, were Santa Fe and Millonarios after their... We won't talk about Watford's loss to Bohemians, but we're not surprised, unfortunately.
And FC TikTok funny
is Stickclaw.
Standing it's a funny joke. FC TikTok only funny. And they actually win 3-2.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a surprise. I didn't think the Uzbekis would get beaten. But good, great day for the
TikTok
for Istiklal and Tajiks everywhere, presumably. Shabab Al Ahly of Dubai losing to Al Hilal was no shock. Al Hilal and Istiklal are now top of Group A. I think they're playing again.
Oh, so close to Al
either tonight or tomorrow night. Probably tomorrow night. In the games we watch, in the club friendly between Louisville City and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, that's 2-0 to Louisville. I think Corbin Bowden scored one goal, and I can't remember who scored the other one. That's bad. It was the Messi show on Saturday night in Spain as Barcelona gave Athletic Club their second cup final loss of the month. That is a bad month for Athletic Club. And the 4-0 win was sort of a vindication of Messi at the not the Bernabeu, at the Camp Nou. Juventus's women won 3-0 away to Sassuolo, while Juventus's men, on a very controversial afternoon, lost 1-0 at Atalanta. Atalanta, of course, a team that is not going into the Super League. Similarly, Leeds United hosted and held Liverpool to a 1-1 draw. Another team not going into the Super League.
And it looks like of all of those, it's 0-0.
You mean neither of us got correct results?
Yeah, neither.
Exactly. Well, I got the Al Hilal score right.
Al Hilal.
Al Hilal.
You
it's
won
against
1-0.
Shabab Al Ahly. Yeah.
How do you get that one right? I was so close to one of them. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, close is great and all that, but it's not nearly as good as what I managed to achieve.
Got 1-0.
So we won't talk at length, but we will talk elliptically later on about the Super League, probably. But we're going to have a look at outside of European football, because I would hope you're all fed up of European football. We do have 3 games from Europe to come up, because of course we do. But we have 5 that aren't in Europe, so that's got to be worth something, hasn't it? So we'll start off in Asia with the Asian Champions League. This time we are going to have a look at Group D. Yes, Group D of the Asian Champions League. So as you can see, 2 games played already. Al Nassr and Fulad playing have won 1 and drawn 1, and they are joint top. Al Nassr hosting it is probably going to make a difference. Please stop kicking those things. This is only Fulad's 4th time, I think, in the Champions League of Asia. They were the 4th team to qualify from Iran, so they actually had to be to play a single playoff game to get in there. In real life, these 2 nations are, let's say, there's a tense rivalry there. That might be a nice way of putting it. They're practically they're on the verge of war constantly. And
what do you mean by war? They're going to fight with each
yeah,
other?
well, no, both these nations have difficulties on philosophic, religious, and cultural levels. For example, Iranians detest being called Arabs, which sometimes they are called. They are Islamic, but they're not Arabic, which is very, very different. They're not even on the peninsula, but they're on the other side. In where do you call it? In Saudi Arabia, you're likely to call it the Gulf of Arabia, and in Iran, it is the Persian Gulf. So there you go. Al Nasser have been there quite a few times, and they're a pretty decent side. This is, generally speaking, a meaty group because Qatar is the region's... The other game is between Al Sadd of Qatar and Al Wahdat of Jordan. You may remember we were looking into how they would do and see how they'd get on in all that kind of malark in the season. Well, Qatar is the region's, the West Asia's first-ranked team, second overall in the the AFC. Saudi is second in the region and fourth overall, and Iran is third in the region. So we've got the 1, 2, 3 of of Western Asia here. Jordan is seventh on the listing and 12th overall. So it's going to be a fairly tense setup between these teams. Al Sadd are probably one of the better teams in the region, as a matter of course. I wouldn't put either Al Nassr or Fulad in the same leagues. Obviously, Al Wahdat won quite easily the Jordanese league, or Jordanian. I think it's Jordanian league. So yeah. So Redmond, Al Sadd against Al Wahdat. What do you think?
0-0.
A scoreless draw. I'm gonna fancy Al Sadd to win it, to make it a 2-0 win over Al Wahdat. And as for Fulad against Al Nassr.
That 1-0 win.
2.
Al Nasser FC.
No, you have Fulad down as winning 1-0.
Yeah.
Okay, right, and I've gone for 1-0 for Al Nassr. We will take a jump sideways. For a minute, hang on, let me see. I'll close these two things down. Stop meddling and start getting engaged.
I am sideways.
We're going to have a look at our flavors and one other. As you can see, we're color changing a bit at the moment. So we're going to go with Redmond with a sort of a pinky red, me with a blue, and then with the usual feature games. So, but we'll start with Watford, who are playing tonight. They're away to St. Pat's. It's on at 20 hours 45 CET, as always, all times, Central European time. Watford are not great at the moment. I'm sorry to say they have not been playing well. They have not looked good. They have... The Bows team that beat them is not very good. It doesn't look strength. It doesn't look like it's got a reserve of strength in them, and we did not look great against them. There's been awful kinds of messing going on with a couple of our players, notably Brian Murphy, who is probably our best player, the goalkeeper. He didn't play the last day. I don't know why. St. Pat's are playing well. St. Pat's are looking good. St. Pat's are looking like a team that
can beat us.
That's not the point that we're looking for. St. Pat's are looking like a team that deserves to be in the joint top of the league. Them, Sligo and Shamrock Rovers are all on 11 points. Finn Harp's on 10, having lost at the weekend. St. Pat's are playing good football. They're defending well. They're scoring.
How many points are we on?
We're on 3. So we're not that far behind. But there's only 5 games gone yet. Nobody's really stamped themselves on the league so far.
-3, you mean?
No, that's -3 on goal difference, Redmond. Stop snooping and start looking. That's where the people are.
We're doing better than Derry City, though.
That's not hard. We're also doing better than Dundalk, and they're a basket case, to use the nice phrase of what I would normally say.
A basket case. What he said. A basket case.
Oh, my God. Juventus are playing Parma. Juventus are one of the teams. Juventus are one of the teams that are signed up for the Super League, and I'm very, very, very disappointed. I will continue to be a fan, but I mean, we'll discuss that at another point. Either way, I'll be interested to see what happens. This is taking place tomorrow, 20 hours 45 as well. And I would hope there'll be some kind of protest made somehow. We saw last night the Leeds players wore shirts saying "earn it" as regards getting into European competition. It's more nuanced than just a simple right guys, wrong guys, anything like that. And also Redmond's going to get an elbow in the eye, and that means that he'll be blind in both eyes.
I can see in the other eye.
Juve were playing okay. They met Atalanta. Atalanta are a very good team. They're currently now third. They are 2 points behind Atalanta. I think it's 1 point ahead of Napoli. Okay, stop. Get up. Get up and sit and stop messing. If we're going to be doing the thing, we should do the thing instead of just messing. They're 2 points ahead of Napoli, 2 points behind Atalanta. They're in fourth. I don't think this is going to be the dropping of a stone, as some people seem to think. If you ever want entertainment, look at Juventus. Juventus's Twitter for people losing their rag over every little thing. But Parma are not up to much. I think it's going to be straightforward. Similarly, Barcelona against Getafe on Thursday, this time at 21 hours Central European time.
Central European time only.
Getafe are how much? 4 points clear of relegation, but there's two teams between them and relegation who are all on the same score, which is 27 points. Barcelona lost ground, losing to Real Madrid at the weekend. They lost ground major time.
65 points even for them.
They're now 5 points behind Atletico and 2 behind Real. It's looking less likely that they can win the league at this point. They do have this game in hand. Win this game, they go back ahead of Real. They're down to 2 points behind Atletico. But can they get the consistency they're going to need?
Yeah,
that is the big question. The usual injuries, Neto, Coutinho and Fati. But they've been without them all year. And according to this, there's a slight chance of Neto showing up at the end of the month. But it's not going to happen, I don't think. Meniscus injuries, according to FOTMob, for both Fati and for Calcinho.
What is the red
it means
rectangle means?
The rectangle means they're suspended for a game. That's a player with Getafe. Redmond. Yes, and finally, Portland Thorns against Olympic Reign. Or OL Reign. So it's Cascadia. Please. A Cascadia derby between Portland and Seattle in the northwest of the United States. Stop messing. Please. I'm asking you for contributions and you don't bring me any. Do you want to bring any contributions?
No, I'm still not bringing them.
You can bring them. You just need to actually get off your arse and do it. Portland have been incredibly consistent and very successful. Olympic OL Reign, which is actually Olympic Lyonnais Reign, not so much. They had been Seattle Reign, gotten to 2 finals of the NWSL, and LOL have come in and taken over. Their big players would include Jess Fishlock, Laura Barnes, Quinn, and of course Megan Rapinoe. Portland Thorns, who've won it a couple of times, who I think have only missed the playoffs the last 4 once. They have a couple of decent players too. Christine Sinclair, for example, being an excellent player there. Lindsay Horan. Their coach is currently player coach Nadine Angerer, who, yes, she was that German player who won everything, if I'm not mistaken, back in the way. So Redmond, scores.
Well,
Or do you want to contribute anything in terms of what you think about the games coming up?
Well, Portland Thorns, I just think win 1-0 against OL Region.
Rain. Please, just sit down. Just sit down.
Be able to win.
Okay, just sit down, please. Just sit down. What about... I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Portland Thorns in that. What about St. Pat's against Watford?
I think Waterford will be having great defense. That's what they're going to be focusing on. And they'll actually have a good attack. And that makes it 1-1.
Okay, seeing as Brian Murphy may be gone, I don't see how we're going to stop goals or score goals. I think it'll be St. Pat's 3, Watford 0. Juve against Parma.
2-1 Juventus. I bet Parma's going to really want to slice a bit from Juventus.
I'd say Juve will be rattled, but I don't think they're going to have difficulty here. I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-0 win again. And finally, Barcelona against Getafe.
I think Barcelona will put out some players they've not normally played out, and it's going to make it 2-0.
Okay, straightforward win for Barcelona there. I'm going to go for a 4-0 win. I don't think Getafe have anything about them. Right, finally, our last two games of the week to be looking at. This is from Group C of the Copa Libertadores, which starts the group stage this week. Sit up. Join us. Don't be a jerk. So some interesting teams here. Barcelona are here. We've got Boca Juniors. We've got Santos, and we've got the strongest, or Strongesti, because apparently, according to people who know better, Redmond. According to people who know better, the strongest is almost the most difficult name you could have for Bolivian Spanish. One of the things there is
why is
yes, it is
Barcelona
named after
and Spain playing in there?
They're not Barcelona of Spain. That's Barcelona if you look at the flag of Ecuador. So let's have a quick rundown through these teams. That shouldn't say Champions League. That should say Copa Libertadores. I've been running around because somebody's been driving me mad. Looking first at the strongest against Boca Juniors. The strongest were founded in 1908, so they're the oldest active club in Bolivia. The best they've ever managed to do is the last 16 of the competition, and I think they've done that 4 times. It's listed as second round, but I think it's last 16. Meanwhile, Boca are a pure giant. Double competition winners in Argentina last year. They were in the final of the Copa Libertadores, I think, in 2018, and they lost to River Plate. That ended up having to be finally played in the Bernabeu in Spain.
Why did they lose against a river, but only on a plate?
Yeah.
That is like so weird. They lost against a river on a plate.
I think the plate is named for the River Redmond. Not
Oh my gosh. There's a little river on one plate.
So one of the odd things about Boca Juniors is they haven't won in South America for a long time. 2008 was their last title, which was the Recopa Sudamericana, which is kind of like the South American Super Cup. Having won the South American Champions League or the Copa Libertadores, which is the Liberators Cup, just in case you're thinking that does not translate into Champions League. The Copa Libertadores, they last won in 2007, so it's been a long time since they've won anything. If you look at Santos against Barcelona, we've got, again, Brazil against Ecuador. Santos were the last Brazilian team to qualify. They're the lowest qualifiers. They had to enter in the second round of qualification, and so had to play 4 games before they get to this one. But they were the finalists of the last edition. They lost to Palmeiras, I can never pronounce it right, in the final late on to that bullet header towards the end. The Barcelona of Ecuador is the largest club. It has more support than any other Ecuadorian team, both in Ecuador and in the world, as far as I can tell.
And Spain, don't forget Spain.
They have accidental support there. It was founded by a guy who's from the city of Barcelona.
What?
And so he named them that.
Stop the Barcelona!
Twice they've been runners-up in the Champions League, back in 1990 and in 1998. And in the 1994 team of Bolivia that went to the US World Cup had a lot of Barcelona or ex-Barcelona players in it. Redmond.
Ex-Barcelona are the Ecuador Barcelona players.
Okay, yeah, fine. Scores. Santos against Barcelona.
3-0 Barcelona.
3-0 to Barcelona. It is not the same Barcelona. You may be unhappy, boy.
I thought that was the real Barcelona.
CVSC. Sporting club, probably, because of a weird obsession in some parts of South America with using English. I'm going to say 2-1 to Santos. The strongest against Boca Juniors.
Wiped. They're just going to... Boca Juniors are basically going to wipe out the strongest team in the world. Wipe out the strongest.
Could you give us a score?
3-0 Boca Juniors.
Boca Juniors. I'm going to say, I think I could be wrong about this, but I'm hoping I'm right. I think the strongest ground is at a very high elevation. It may be the National Stadium in Bolivia, if I'm not mistaken. And so I think that, especially coupled with it being the first game of the Copa Libertadores, that may make a difference. I think that that's going to lead to it being a 2-2 draw and a famous, so to speak, success for the strongest. But we will see. We will see.
We got a viewer.
We do have a viewer. We often have a viewer.
Sometimes we have 2.
Sometimes we do have 2.
We've never gotten 3.
We did one time. Anyway, so those are the games coming up. They're taking place on the 21st and the 22nd, but late at night, OR's 15 and midnight itself. So hopefully there's a few games there that you might be interested in. Redmond, anything you want to say before we round up for the evening?
Bye everyone on Red.